Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishna. Here basically are discussing another topic that is city creation. City creation basically are discussing another topic that is future creation. In this basically we are discussing about one topic that is India account. In India account basically we are discussing one topic that is SBI account, Amazon account, and after 2 days basically big earthquake is going to happen in India. That topic actually we are discussing. In this basically we are discussing about lava data and how lava data basically, which example I had taken of 10 crore project basically, which is created by Mumbai city, which is connecting to each and every incidents basically which is happening in the world basically, whatever incidents basically is happening, that is connected with this only basically. Where basically the Indian nationality are staying, that is the one condition basically. Wherever basically and everywhere basically Indian nationality are staying only. That's why I have taken the whole world example, and everywhere basically Indian nationality are there basically, you check basically. So one of the person told that the season data basically, which you have told that in Dubai basically suddenly basically rain got fall. Reason was that person basically was late. Suddenly basically rain got too much fall basically. Due to the reason was that person basically was too late. Why he was late? That basically was the reason basically. In due to that basically some conflict basically happened. And here one of the person basically told that Dubai basically was knowing this, that that person basically is entering into the city to the Dubai. After that only basically the rain is basically getting. He was basically from Jharkhand, so Dubai king basically was knowing this because Dubai was created by half of the Dubai is created by India basically. So the India basically was giving handling the season data basically in Dubai. So Dubai group know that basically this is the person, and every time basically they keeps on changing the person only. So here the question is the visa department basically who is issuing the visa basically for Dubai country basically, that group has not informed Dubai basically that this is the person basically, he has not came, and due to that basically the rain is not falling. Due to that basically don't blast cloud again and again basically. That basically visa department has not told to Dubai basically. So here basically the thing was Dubai basically become along basically in that time basically. Nobody basically helped Dubai. Nobody actually helped. Even basically the visa department was supposed to inform basically that this is that person basically who is supposed to come to Dubai, and after that basically the activation is supposed to happen. So integration channel basically, the communication channel basically was not there between Dubai king, that person basically who blasted the cloud basically, and then basically that person basically and the visa department basically, and the software company basically who are controlling the Dubai data, that is the USA basically. So USA basically told that basically we are basically connecting with every 2 days. So they basically already escaped from this. Then which department basically came? That is visa department. So here the visa department basically was responsible for Dubai loss. So it was a huge loss basically. 1,000 crore, I think, 1,000 crore dirham. So Dubai basically, how basically Dubai is going to recover that 1,000 crore basically? Because they have to take data, because they are not taking the tax also. If they might be taking the tax, then basically they can recover that data also. But here the one thing is they are not supposed to pay the money to the shopkeepers, malls. Why? Because they are not taking the tax basically. So that is a very danger. That is basically one good thing for Dubai group basically. But here the investor basically of the Dubai basically has got the loss basically due to visa department. Actually, visa department was supposed to inform to that cloud department basically, who is actually doing blast in cloud basically. 7 to 8 times basically they have done the blast. But if that department basically might have connected to visa department, and visa department might have connected to that department, then basically this error basically might not have happened. And this was basically this type of error basically in India basically never happens. In India also basically the cloud blast happens basically. But here it's not a cloud, it's an energy basically. That is the ONGC and IPCL group basically do in India basically. Here basically cloud is there basically. Cloud blast also happens. But here main is energy basically. And here the communication basically channel is very powerful basically. Communication channel basically is very powerful basically. For example, suddenly basically in Pune basically rain is going to fall. So they immediately basically informs the Pune people basically that something basically changed happened, and due to the some basically energy basically got extreme energy. Extreme energy means I will take one example. Assume that basically one of the car companies handling the season data basically. So the rain data basically is handled by that car company. But that day basically what happened, the car company, there are basically around 1 lakh car in Pune basically. But from that basically 80,000 car basically came into road basically. That was actually unexpected. Due to that what happened basically, suddenly basically rain fall. But 80,000 people basically going to enter into road basically, that was supposed to inform basically by the telecom, by the automobile industry. That is the car company was supposed to inform to the government basically. But they had not informed. But they have informed basically. The communication channel basically is very powerful basically. For example, I basically not got job. Why? The communication system basically was very powerful. That's why basically I have not got the job. I basically entered in Mumbai. I basically not got the job. Why? Because communication channel basically was very powerful. So that is different thing basically that we are going to discuss soon basically. That why basically Mumbai has done that. One of the satellite person told us, Sunil, where is this Mumbai here basically? We are not getting, you are telling Mumbai, Mumbai, Mumbai. You sometimes basically tells Bangalore, 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 Bangalore. Where is this basically? So today basically I am going to display that cities to you basically. To satellite group basically. Where is exactly this cities? How basically the Mumbai city looks from satellites. From satellite, how basically Mumbai city looks so this is basically the India map. This is the India map basically. This is like this basically the India just. This is the India map basically. How basically the India looks. Like this basically the India looks. Like this basically the India looks like. Like this basically the India looks. In India basically map, there is one Mumbai city. This basically you can see the border basically here. This basically at the near sea basically there is one few space basically this side basically. So this is basically in Mumbai city. So one of the satellite person told that where is this Mumbai here basically? We want to know that basically. You told that basically one of the person in Mumbai basically told that if any person basically will visit 10 time also Mumbai, then also basically they will not give job basically. We want to see that Mumbai city basically. So this is that Mumbai city. See basically. This is the Mumbai city basically. See basically this is. See this is the Mumbai city. Near sea water basically. Then basically one of the person told, where is Bangalore basically? Yeah, basically. We want to see the Bangalore also. So this is Mumbai, and here basically is the Bangalore city. So that basically is far from the sea water basically. But Mumbai is near the sea water basically. So one person told that this is that city basically where Sunil Nair basically applied for job and he basically not got the job. So one person we were discussing the in previous video basically we had discussed about the nuclear plant, nuclear data basically. That nuclear data basically what? There are basically 100 types of stories basically in the environment basically which is connected with directly with nuclear basically directly that data basically are connected with the nuclear bomb sorry nuclear missile basically that how basically that we have already discussed like this basically one of the person told that assume that basically today world is going to end just taking as an example basically really basically world will never end so soon basically but assume basically today world is going to end. So in this, which story basically might be activated? Assume that basically one of the nuclear bomb basically was nuclear missile basically was dumped 1 month before basically. So that was the last nuclear bomb basically. In that basically the connection happened and connection disconnected also. So that was the last basically. So last nuclear bomb and the last connection disconnection basically happened at previous month. After that basically never basically the connection disconnection basically happened. So that was the last point basically. So like this, each and every data basically are connected with each other. So one person basically told that mostly basically monthly or sorry not monthly basically periodically basically the nuclear blast basically happens. That is basically 100%. Here basically I can take 100%, but not a single news channel basically can track that. Why? Because the country basically where the nuclear blast is basically happening, that country is not in the map. Basically, how you are going to track basically within some sea water basically one country is basically one island basically is there that island basically is not in the map also in the map is that's okay basically but you can't reach to that island also basically then how you are going to track that is also the question and there basically the climate is up to that level basically that nobody can see that island also there basically nuclear blast happens so anybody basically is going to track that there is no one no one basically can track that basically no one basically can track that basically. So here one of the person told that basically in this world basically there are hundreds of story basically which is created by set of groups basically. Like this each and every rich people basically are connected with that nuclear story. Here bad groups are there, good groups both groups are there. And how basically that is connecting in connecting. That we have already discussed. That we have already discussed. So here basically point is what? Sunil or NAIR basically is not getting job, and one of the nuclear chain group basically asked, why basically? Sorry, they asked basically, have you got the job basically, Sunil? Has ever your income basically started? After starting basically income basically have you done the marriage basically? This thought each and your basically generation basically started. That each and every question basically they started. Like this each and every story basically started. Like this each and every story basically started. So you can just imagine basically up to what level things are basically connected. One person told that basically, but how this everything nuclear data basically are connecting to the that 100 crore child there basically. That is also question basically. Here basically you told that basically each and every incident that means the nuclear blast basically which is happening periodically that is also connected with this 100 child basically. Then he told that yes basically in this world basically for example 100 stories created, that 100 story will connect to that going to child. The child basically which is going to happen, their data basically is going to connect to that. Their energy basically are going to connect to that each and every stories. That is by default. Why? One person basically asked the question, why basically that might be reason. There is actually reason basically. Why it's like that basically. Why basically it is like that. One person basically asked the question, how many nuclear data basically Indian nationality are connected? How many nuclear data with Pakistan groups are connected? How many nuclear data basically the China's groups are connected? How many data nuclear data basically with American nationality are connected? So each nationality basically have set of stories, and on the base of that story, basically the nuclear data gets generates. Nuclear data basically gets generated. So you can just imagine basically. So one person basically asked the question, yeah, how basically things are connected basically. And here the main thing is even basically the earthquake basically happening in the city basically that is also connected with the lava data basically. That was basically shocking basically. For example, in I am in Vadodara city and that data basically is in Mumbai city. Earthquake basically is happening in Vadodara city and lava data basically is in Mumbai city. So the connection basically is there basically. You will not able to believe that basically. How basically that is connection? How basically that is possible here basically? Earthquake basically is happening in Vadodara city. In Vadodara city, that is in Gujarat basically. And that lava data basically is dumped inside the Mumbai land basically. So how basically that connects here? Basically, that is not magic basically. That is magic or actually I basically don't understand what is actually that. Then one of the person told that basically each and every earthquake data na basically in front of the world basically that is tectonic plates. But earthquake happens from the above data basically that is the above land data. That basically Microsoft example I have already taken. 1,000 buildings. So that now basically can connect to Mumbai city just within fraction of millisecond. Here basically in Vadodara earthquake happened, immediately basically that data connects to lava data. So one person told that basically, is it reverse basically? Reverse means from that lava data basically the earthquake basically happens. That was very dangerous thing basically. Is that basically the lava groups, that is the future group basically, which is that is the 100 crore basically child is going to happen basically, they are controlling the entire India basically, or what basically, that is also basically question. From that data, the India land is getting controlled. Is that is possible basically? Is that possible basically? 1 lakh basically the condition which was created, that basically the condition basically preparation already started. That means that 100 crore child which is going to come, that is controlling by default the India land basically. And here basically I have taken as example that my generation basically does not take. So here anything is going to affect basically. I don't think nothing is going to affect basically. That time is going to say everything, anything basically. Sorry, everything. Basically. When as in that basically 1 crore child generated. After 1 crore basically the next number was of Sunil or Nair. But that time basically the Sunil or Nair data was finished. Why? Because Nasbandi was happened of Sunil or Nair. Due to that basically he can't become the father basically. And he basically done second marriage in first marriage basically was in Mumbai basically, sorry, in Bangalore, and second marriage basically has happened in Mumbai city basically. So second marriage group basically, that is from Mumbai city, they told that basically you have done your Nasbandi basically. That time Sunil Nahar basically was shocked basically. No, basically I had not done my Nasbandi. At this year basically your Nasbandi was happened basically. And the first second marriage group was shocked, and the girls group was also basically shocked, and Sunil Nair basically family also basically was shocked. How basically his Nasbandi was done? Yeah, basically. How basically the Nasbandi was done? Then basically they told that basically in this basically your temple groups are also involved basically. Because the temple group also basically was asked that we are going to do his Nasbandi, so we can we do? They told that yes, basically do it basically. Reason, they got some money basically. And on the base of money, they basically ended Sunila Nair generation. So you can just imagine basically, for money, temple group also basically can't do anything. So this all user stories now basically which has connected, that is going to connect when after 1 crore, Sunilar Nair data basically is going to come, and in that data basically the user story is going to be generate into environment that first marriage group basically done Nasbandi of Sunilar Nair. First marriage group basically, entire group basically will take. Entire group basically done plan of Sunilar Nair Nasbandi. In that basically this whole thing basically happens. So that user story basically is going to generate in the environment. So one of the person told that anything is going to affect basically in universe or basically in Indian nationality, an entire Indian nationality basically will exist. What each and everything basically combination basically things basically started. What are the possibilities going to happen? First possibility is anything is going to happen. First person told that nothing is going to happen. Then basically the second person told that is Indian nationality will exist that time basically. Then basically third person told that basically the world will exist that time basically. Then fourth person told that basically world will exist but human nationality will exist. Then basically few person other person basically told that Earth planet will exist. Then basically one of the person told that the Earth planet basically started with new generation basically, because first this generation basically ended, that is going to happen. So what are the possibilities? Or basically last option, one of the person told that nothing is going to happen. Why? Because Sunilar Nair basically data was removed from the energy also, which the lava data basically created the data basically. From that Sunilar Nair basically data was also basically removed. Example, this video basically I am uploading. I am basically sharing the video, but no few people only basically can view that video. Why? Because it is restricted by set of group basically. Because set of group basically are telling that basically we have purchased YouTube basically for certain time basically. So whatever we are going to do, that is only going to happen. So nobody other basically can't view this video basically. Just taking as an example, basically, really basically nobody has done like that. Everybody basically can view this video basically. Few people shows that basically, "Arey yaar, basically in America basically we are not able to watch your videos only." So that was shocking basically. Just taking as an example basically. So everybody basically can watch this video. So here one of the person told why basically you told like that basically. So here the thing is the earthquake data basically which is generating basically that basically how earthquake basically happens that we have discussed long before basically. That is connecting to the lava data basically. And few people told that the lava data basically which is generating that is coming towards certain level of data basically sorry to certain level of areas and that area basically the earthquake is happening but most of possibilities are what the lava data is coming inside the city and that basically the earthquake is happening. So one person told that this 1 crore 100 crore child which is going to happen basically they are actually searching for father basically or what basically they are searching for mother or what basically what basically. That was shocking basically. That was the shocking system basically. That was what actually. They are searching basically for father. They are searching for mother. This connects to one system. Shadi.com, matrimonial.com, this.com, Kerala.com, this.com, those.com, Jeevansadi.com. They are basically what people do basically. They search basically. So exactly same that thing basically is happening here. Basically. The child basically data basically the combination of one child basically is coming to this particular city and generating his data here basically, and he is actually searching basically his father and mother basically where basically my data will suit basically, and possibilities are this only basically. Possibilities are this only. So one person told that this basically the energy department that is the European group and the Italian group basically they have never tracked that basically. This type of thing is also basically happening in the environment. They only basically know to damage the body parts, damage the head, damage the leg, damage the chest, damage the stomach with the help of Indian nationality that is Bangalore group. They only know this basically. Earthquake basically connected here. So one person wrote that is how possible here basically. The child basically is searching father mother basically that is shocking basically yeah basically but the child basically how they are tracking basically that this father basically can become father or basically not basically that is also a question basically. So the lava basically which was dumped inside the land basically there basically the condition is giving that basically if one person basically is having Nasbandi his data basically can't merge with your data basically up to that level basically the science has reached basically. The geology department basically the geology software department basically has reached up to that level basically. That is not possible here basically up to this level basically how the zoology software department basically can reach. Zoology means science department. So how that is possible here basically. For example I will take my example assume that basically my generation has ended. Just taking example really basically not ended. Assume basically my Nasbandi has happened. The child basically that is a 100 crore child basically came here basically and they basically connected to my and my near energy basically. They basically started calculating basically my data basically will shoot here. First basically child come, second child come. Each and every 1 crore basically child of Microsoft basically came. They basically started connecting. Like this basically the 100 crore child basically data connected to my body and they basically checked whether that basically I can basically suit Sunil or Nair basically or not basically to become Sunil or Nair father basically. Sorry, I Sunil or Nair basically can become my father or not basically. So they are checking it basically. So how that is not magic basically, and this is one process basically which is going to happen 100%. Whether world will end or world will not end basically, but this will happen basically. So the hard work which Mumbai city has done, that is going to happen one day. That is Sunilar Nair generation basically ended, and rest of generation basically is ongoing. Ongoing means going to happen, and Sunilar Nair generation will not happen. So that is already done basically. So here basically I'm just taking as an example basically. So here the question is basically Sunil Nair basically the 100 crore child basically came near around my Sunil Nair body basically, and they basically started. Bhai, I can become your, you can become my father, you can become my father. Like this, basically, the question is happening. Basically, question is what basically? The conditions basically, which is dumped inside that child data. That is one example we have already taken. 1 lakh condition basically, which is dumped by Microsoft. That data basically they are going to check from my body's energy, and they are going to get a result. That is yes or no. And this is the system basically, which is the energy department. So one of the person told that yeah, basically in environment, what are the things basically do you basically in this world basically anybody have any projects basically how many data basically are dumped into the environment? One day basically the entire world will get blast, and the slogan will be Ek Tha World, Ek Tha Earth Planet. Like this basically the universe group will say basically Ek Tha Earth Planet. So one of the person basically like TCS group basically started calculating basically by how many data basically are inside near the sorry within the Earth planet basically, because they are basically number one basically, so they are responsible for software industry. So they basically started their data basically calculating how many data basically are of the software basically that need to check basically. So each and every people basically started calculating how many data basically are in the environment. Like this basically this type of data basically are 100 crore child data means you can just imagine basically just within this nano energy basically it comes and it basically calculates whether basically Sunila Nair will become father of this 100 crore child or not basically. So you can just able to imagine basically how the birth basically process is happening. And few people say that bhai mera to I am basically not able to become father basically. So this is the reason basically, because the 100 crore child is already dumped inside the, and that data basically is coming to you basically. That is the periodically basically the data comes, because we can't forcefully tell and basically bhai idhar aa bhai 100 crore idhar aa come 100 crore, that basically we can't say. It's a periodical process basically. 100 crore child idhar aa, that we can say basically, that special group basically can say who are basically the richest person basically in the world basically, they can call 100 crore child data and basically tell them basically suits you or not basically just check it basically, that basically they can tell. And that basically there was satellite group basically normally in a energy company, power company and nuclear power company basically they can't say basically they can't do this type of task basically, because it is not possible to do this type of task. So nuclear power company basically can't do that basically. That only satellite group basically can do. And satellite group basically you can just imagine basically they are directly connected with the set of rich people only basically. Because rich people only basically can do the investment basically. To satellite basically, how much investment basically? More than crore basically. Normal person basically like me basically, I can basically can't take my expense also basically. Then how basically I am going to do the investment of 100 crore basically. Sorry, crore basically. I am whatever amount basically it might be. So you can just imagine basically. So the zoology department, one of the zoology department told that basically, भाई हमने तो ऐसा कोई condition रखा नहीं. We have not basically kept the condition like basically one person basically is having Nasbandi, and that 100 crore child is not supposed to come near that person, and basically they are not supposed to ask basically, basically you will become my father basically. That type of basically condition zoology department has not done basically. So that was shocking basically. So one of the person told that yeah, really basically this thing basically just now basically in video I just now basically I discussed basically that is correct or wrong basically. That is also question basically. Currently the birth process basically which is happening, if you will track that basically, you will easily able to try, you will easily able to go to that lava data basically, from where basically the from the land. For example, one city basically is having the birth basically of this many child basically, they are basically connected with this many power companies. So just check that basically from where the power companies are getting the data. You will connect to that land, and you will track that land basically, and that land basically, the lava land basically, which is the land basically which is created by set of groups basically, they will say you that basically these all are the condition basically which we have dumped into the lava data. So if your data basically suits this condition, then only basically you can be able to become father and mother. Other than basically you can't. So that was shocking basically, that this type of world basically has created. So one of the person told that मतलब कौन है यार basically, who actually created, who is the master basically of lava basically. So in front of the world that is South Africa basically, but in really basically it's not South Africa. Whatever in front of the world, that everybody everything basically is wrong. That everybody knows. That everybody knows that whatever in front of the world basically is there, that is wrong basically. That is not correct. That everybody knows. That everybody knows basically. Whatever in front of the world basically, it is the wrong basically. So you can just imagine basically how the creation basically is already created. So one of the person told that "Mata, yes, really basically it is correct or basically wrong basically." Then you check basically if you can check this. So one of the person told that 100 crore child basically comes to each and every people, and they ask basically, you can become my father basically. So how they might be asking here? That is the conditions, na basically. They basically can't basically, the energy basically can ask basically. Nothing basically. So one of the person told them in environment basically, how many people, how many energies are asking the question basically, and what are the answer basically they are getting basically. So this is not basically one data science project. So 100 crore child basically is coming and telling that basically you can become my father basically. So like this basically, how many data science project basically are there? So that was basically shocking. And in that basically, the lava data group basically told that basically, why that type of basically condition are not there basically. Whether the person basically has got Nasbandi, or basically this type of activity has done. So that type of data basically lava department basically has not reached up to that level basically. That is the zoology department of science department, so zoology department of software department of zoology, because they only basically can do this type of coding basically. No other group basically can do, because zoology department only knows about the land basically. No other department knows. So you can just able to imagine basically. So one person told that this 100 crore child is basically asking basically, but you can become my father basically or not. And fathers basically, the persons basically, for example myself, my body basically will say that basically this child basically will suits me or not basically. That type of question basically is possible basically, or basically really basically this type of activity happens basically. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about the detailed part of this base, and this is connecting to the nuclear data and the lava data also.